Our brains are being hacked, and it took my solo travel adventures to realize the impact that this had on my day-to-day life. How often do you take the time out of your day, maybe you're going after work, or maybe you go once a week to buy your essentials? How often are we in those stores and we're immediately hit with a bunch of options that are, one, overly advertised, and two, contain harmful chemicals for our bodies? And a quick backstory on how I came to this realization that our brains are being hacked. I was doing some traveling in Vietnam for an extended period of time where, of course, I still had to get my essential amenities, my soaps, my deodorants. And in Vietnam, when I needed to go buy deodorant, I went to a local pharmacy where I would buy my soap and deodorant. And a lot of the times, these options were, one, low. There's really only a couple of handful of options. And two, a lot of these soaps and deodorants were naturally derived with natural oils or natural scents. I even went to a pharmacy in Phang Nga where they only had one soap on hand. And this soap was one of my favorite soaps. It was an amazing soap. It smelled nice, naturally derived, it didn't dry out my skin, and I felt clean and fresh. Now, it comes to the realization when I make my way back to California and Los Angeles, and of course, I need to continue buying these essential products for my hygiene routines. I go to my local Target, and when I get to the deodorant aisle, I was immediately hit with a wall of deodorants, a wall of just a bunch of colors of different deodorant, different brands, and a lot of these contained harmful chemicals. You have to be a chemist to really understand what goes into all of these, or at least you will Google what these chemicals are. And I didn't think that I would be almost dumbfounded. I kind of just found myself staring at this aisle of deodorants for 10, 15, maybe 20 minutes and then deciphering which one I wanted to get. And what the is that? It was pretty eye-opening for me because I just did not think that I was gonna go through something like that. I did not think that I was gonna have that experience. I thought I was gonna be a quick in and out procedure. I get my deodorant and then I leave. But I found myself looking through these deodorants, their ingredients, their branding, and really I didn't, one, like any of them, and two, I genuinely asked myself, why do I need so many options? I genuinely asked the questions, why do we have so many options? And I really realized that this was a learned thing. When I was traveling in Vietnam, it was a very simple thing to go get a quick deodorant, a quick soap. And it was a quick thing. It was something where I was in and out 5 minutes and then I went about my day. But then here, it was this kind of montage of, oh wow, I feel undecisive, I feel unclear. And that is where decision fatigue comes in. Decision fatigue is the concept where the more choices you have to make in a day, the less really to put it in a simplicity, the more choices you have to make in a day, the more likely you are to be cranky, the more likely you are going to put off making other choices, the more likely you're going to feel annoyed at making these decisions. And I think that this society, the modern world, has just trained us to normalize this. Because being at that aisle, being at the deodorant aisle, I really appreciated the simplicity that some different cultures and countries have offered me. It doesn't feel that everybody is competing for my attention when I go to buy a deodorant. It feels that, hey, this is a naturally derived product, this is a soap, here you go. And I think maybe it was one of these occasions where I had maybe a long day of work, maybe there was a lot of emotional things going on in that day that made this experience a bit more stressful than it needed to be. However, if you think about the amount of choices that we have to make in one day, if you think about the complexities of modern life, these choices add up. And the last thing I want to think about is which deodorant is gonna be healthy for me. I think decision fatigue is one of those things you just don't realize it's happening to you. When I was in that aisle, I was taking my time, and then it was towards the end of my time where I realized, wow, I am taking a lot of time making this simple decision. And keep in mind, I was going in there for one product. Only one product, right? Let's say I was doing a full shopping cart where we all have an enormous amount of options. And it's almost baffling, right? Why do we have so many options? Is it because the companies are competing for our attention? Is it because of XYZ needs to make X amount of dollars a day or a month, a year, a quarter? It's these things that we don't realize have been programmed into us that we just really forget about. We move on with our days. We all have individualistic lifestyles, and we all are concerned with our problems, as you should be. But man, this is pretty intense. Like, having experienced a more minimalistic way of living when it comes to these essential products does really impact the way you think when you do come back to a state like California, where you have a plethora of options that sometimes you don't even need, really. I'm willing to bet that some of you pick one product or deodorant and you just buy that repeatedly over and over again. And I question that, right? I question, is it a good product? Does it have good ingredients is it good for you? And a lot of times the answer is no, especially living in a world where things are becoming very highly processed and industrialized. And sometimes we don't want these things to be a hassle. And we also want clean and good products for our bodies. Do we not? If you made it to the end of this video, thank you very much. I appreciate it. If you want to leave a comments down below on your own perspectives on how you deal with decision fatigue, I'm happy to hear them out. Comment them down below. Yeah, thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you.